Welcome everyone to a new episode of Reminiscing Bollywood Classics. Back in 2002, I remember getting bowled over by a film called Deewangee. It was the first film I had seen which dealt with the concept of split personality disorder, and I was under the impression that this was the first Bollywood film to touch upon it. Of course, nowadays there are numerous films which have explored the concept in a variety of ways, and it has become a common theme in films. The shock value of the theme has reduced considerably today. However, I was completely wrong in thinking that Deewangee was the first to do it. 35 years before Deewangee, there was a film called Raat or Din, which brilliantly portrayed a character having dissociative identity disorder. The film begins with Peggy, played by Nargis, hailing a cab and going to a nightclub, where she serenades everyone with a song and dances with Dilip, played by Mr. Feroz Khan. Suddenly, a man called Pratap, played by Mr. Pradeep Kumar, enters the nightclub and forcefully asks Peggy to come home since she is his wife. Peggy claims he's a complete stranger who is harassing her, and a brawl ensues between Pratap and Dilip. Pratap claims the lady in question is Varuna, not Peggy. So who is lying and who is telling the truth? How can the same lady be Peggy and Varuna at the same time? These are the first 10 minutes of the film, and you are completely transfixed as to what will transpire next. Raat Aur Din was released in 1967, and it could easily have been made as a color film. I think it was a conscious decision of the director, Mr. Satyen Bose, to shoot the film in black and white, and the decision was a masterstroke. The use of lights and shadows to show two polar opposite characters, Peggy and Varuna, is masterful. Mr. Satyen Bose, who had directed masterpieces like Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi, Jagrati, Dosti, goes completely out of his comfort zone and comes up trumps in this one. The color version wouldn't have had the same effect as the black and white one. I can imagine the reactions of the crowd when Nargis transformed from Varuna to Peggy and vice versa in the flash of an eye. Another thing which worked for Raat Aur Din is the fantastic music composed by the duo of Shankar Jaikishan. Its atmospheric and haunting melodies create the right vibe which such a movie dictates. The two tracks, Raat Aur Din and Awara Hai Mere Dil, in the voice of Lata ji, are soothing, melodious and atmospheric. However, the best track is Dil Ki Gira Khol Do, which comes at the beginning of the film. We see Peggy as a chanteuse waltzing with the leap to this track, which flows like a graceful waterfall. A couple of years back, I was listening to an interview of Mr. Altaf Raja, who had created a sensation in the 90s with his song Tum To Thehre Pardesi. I'm a 90s kid, so I have seen myself the craze that song created, and it is yet to be repeated. The song even earned him a name in the Guinness Book of World Records. Mr. Altaf Raja mentioned that when he was a kid, he heard the song Dil Ki Gira Khol Do playing on television, and he was so mesmerized by it that he decided to become a singer. I wholeheartedly believe in this anecdote because Dil Ki Gira Khol Do can have that effect. You have to listen to it to believe it. Nargis ji had retired from films in the late 1950s, and she did the film only because her brother was the producer. I just can't imagine what a risk it was to cast Nargis ji in this character, because she had already established herself in the eternal image of Mother India. As the bold and vivacious Peggy, she had to smoke, drink, flirt, and dance with strangers, a complete polar opposite to her legendary Mother India character. But I think the directors and the writers wanted to shock the audience with the story and also their casting. Nargis ji gives a performance which will shake you to the core. Maybe she knew this was her last film, I do not know. But it was a swan song which will be forever remembered. She reminds you of a lady in a masquerade ball who is changing masks at will. Her ability to transform from Peggy to Varuna in the blink of an eye is astounding, and as a testament to the immense talent she possessed. It was such a complex character, and what boggles me is that she did not have any historical references to play it. She deservedly won the inaugural National Award for the Best Actress. She was never seen on screen again after Raat or Din, but she left an indelible mark on the film lovers with this film. Arguments can be made that the treatment methods used by the doctors in the film were amateurish. But it doesn't take away from the fact that the film raised a valid medical issue, which even today is being researched. Sadly, today words like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, autism, depression are thrown around so easily that people who actually go through these disorders get neglected. Anyways, if I start ranting about the society, this podcast will never end. That is it for today. Thank you for listening. Until next time, folks.